Hi, I'm Chef Owen Tilley, and I want to welcome you to this week's edition of Ask the Chef. This week's question comes from Annie. Annie's one of our fans on Facebook, and she's throwing a holiday party and would like to know if I have a simple and interesting seafood appetizer that she can serve. Well, Annie, as usual, I do, and it couldn't be any easier. We're going to make seafood stuffed avocados, which is perfect for an appetizer course for a sit-down dinner. So, you only need a few ingredients. It's really quick. Let's get started. You're going to need a couple of avocados. You're going to need about a half a cup of cooked crab meat, about a half a cup of chopped cooked shrimp, 2 tablespoons of peeled and diced cucumber. You're going to need a couple of tablespoons of mayonnaise, about a teaspoon of fresh chopped parsley, some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of paprika. So to get started, we're going to combine all the ingredients together in a mixing bowl. So let's add the shrimp, we'll add the crab, cucumber, parsley, and the mayonnaise. I'm going to give it a quick seasoning of a little salt. You don't want to use too much salt because the shrimp and the crab are going to be a little bit salty because they come from the sea. So you don't want to overpower it. Then I'm going to grind up a little bit of fresh cracked pepper and then thoroughly mix. Now the key is in the mixture. You really want to thoroughly mix this up. That way all the flavors will incorporate together and you're not going to have mystery pockets of mayonnaise. One thing I hate is when you don't mix a seafood salad well enough and then you take a bite and it's either all cucumber, all mayonnaise, or all crab or shrimp, and it's not really well incorporated. So I've made it, we're ready to go there. Now at this point I would encourage you to make this a day ahead. Now you simply put it in an airtight container and store it into your refrigerator. Now the reason I do this is it gives a day for the flavors to really incorporate well and come together. And also you don't want to cut your avocados the day ahead because it'll turn them brown. So you leave that to the last minute. Really couldn't be easier with the avocado. Simply take your knife and run it across the top lengthwise, and then you'll hit the pit and you'll feel it. Just circle the knife around like this and it makes the perfect cut. Pop it open. And then to remove the pit, I like to use the hilt of the knife, just give it a twist and it pops right out. Now we have the avocado open. I'm simply going to take it and scoop it out just a little bit. Like I said, you don't want to remove too much avocado because you really want that flavor to come out and it really does add to the dish, but you still have to have enough to make sure your guest gets a good amount of seafood. So about that deep is really all you need. Rule of thumb, you want to go about a half an inch, you want to have about a half an inch of avocado all the way through the avocado. There we go. So now I'm just simply going to fill up the cavity that I created with some of the seafood stuffing. There we go. One more. Just as such. Place that down on the plate as well. Now we're just going to take a little bit of paprika, sprinkle it over the top. And that's it. Couldn't be simpler, couldn't be easier. I want to thank Annie for asking the question of an interesting and fun seafood appetizer for a sit-down holiday meal, and I want to invite you to come back next week for next week's installment of Ask the Chef. And remember, you keep asking, I'll keep cooking.